Nice to see you guys again. Yeah, just over the past few sessions, I just wanted to acknowledge that there obviously has been a lot of transition in both of your lives, and I can see how it's been weighing on both of you in different ways. But I would like to explore more, because I'm hearing themes of trust in between the both of you. And I'm seeing that both of you do want to have that again. Mm-hmm. So if we could work together to think about ways that we can start taking steps towards building that connection back again. But Sam, I'd love to hear from you, just thinking through this transition that both of you have been through with your dad and everything that has happened to bring you two here. What was it like before, as it relates to the trust that you felt within your home and with your mom and your dad?
Well, obviously, like I said before, Dad just provided so much more comfort to me than Mom does. I just feel like he got me. We could be stupid and fun together, and Mom is just you're so controlling. I keep saying the analogy of a puppet. I feel like she's just the headmaster, puppeting me and trying to take control. And so it feels exacerbated since Dad moved to Alaska.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think changed between both of you? What change maybe did you experience in your mom that made it worse?
I think Mom, honestly, I'm just gonna say it to you because I think you need to hear this, that ever since Dad left, you have been more controlling. And I know you've just got a job, but I feel like you're scraping just to find something to be control of. Because you try to control Dad, and look where you guys are now. And now you're just trying to control me.
Wow. You think that this was because I tried to control him?
Yeah. And that's why he cheated on you.
Alright, yeah, let's acknowledge that is holding a lot of weight for your mom here. What's going on now with you? How does that sit?
That's the thought that comes into my mind when I cry at night. But that's not how it was. Mm-hmm. He was immature and I loved him.
How do you feel that your trust, just with Sam, and how obviously your trust changed with your husband, and you think about trusting Sam again,
Yeah, I trusted my husband, at least in that way, that he wouldn't cheat on me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't trust him with the house, and I didn't trust him with Sam. I trusted him to do his job and to be faithful to me. Mm-hmm. And then to find out that he had been on dating apps for a while. Mm-hmm. It had been probably wasn't the first. Mm-hmm. Really, he lied about that too. And and then I found out that he was with her. But I did everything for this family. I still wanted it to work out. That's psycho, right? That I thought even after him cheating on me, that we could make it work. Mm-hmm. I don't know, that only lasted like a couple weeks, but he like chose her, and he like chose something other than this family, and he chose to move to fucking Alaska. So yeah, my trust is broken, and I know that doesn't directly apply to Sam, but she broke my trust too with the alcohol and the drinking, and the way that she's been like managing this. So I feel like
both of the ways that you've been managing has been different and almost clashing in a way where almost the way that you are coping and the way she's coping like keeps bringing you farther and farther apart.
Yeah, because I want to be able to trust her, and like that's why we're here, right? I want to trust that she's gonna be okay, but like I just feel like everything is falling apart, and that I like trying to keep things, I guess, in control. And you say that I'm controlling, but I want you to be okay. I want you to be happy again. I want like the best things for you.
Yeah.
And like Dad fucked that up for us. I'm so mad at him. But like it wasn't my fault.
Have you heard your mom talk about any of this, Sam? What's happening for you right now?
Yeah, I guess I just didn't realize that Dad had been on, according to you, that Dad had been on dating sites and apps.
Yeah, I think maybe what I'm observing a little is sort of your mom having, you know, this sort of life-altering event for both of you. I hear you describe her saying that you feel like she's just very controlling, which totally valid from your perspective. And, you know, maybe like since there's been such a change from what had happened, like your mom's way of coping is to have more control over maybe a situation she doesn't feel, and correct me if I'm totally wrong, a situation that doesn't feel like she has much control over. But yeah, Sam, I really do want to hear more from you about, you know, you talked about your dad being fun and just more chill and relaxed, and I want to hear more about that relationship and what trust looks like with him.
Just like he was not judgmental. Like, I never felt like I was less than. He was always like my hype man. Like, the things didn't have to get too serious. Like, Mom was always the one disciplining. Is always the one disciplining.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we could maybe think about ways that we could maybe find a balance where we're meeting in the middle of you wanting to feel more like a team with Sam.
What would that even look like, though?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can think about, I mean, you tell me what would something that maybe your mom could take a few steps towards you just in this next week to, that maybe you feel maybe comes easier for your dad, but maybe giving your mom a path to success.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm not as fun as him, and I miss him for that.
Oh, Mom, like, not judge me.
Can we maybe talk about a time that you did feel that judgment you're talking about?
Just feel like it always revolves around, like, not being responsible.
It's just that I've had to be responsible my whole life, and I want you to grow in a way that you are responsible and that I can trust you. But like right now, I'm responsible for this family.
Yeah, I think maybe we can hold that that's true, that you are holding a lot of weight for this family, and that can be true while also maybe showing in our, the ways we're leaning towards each other. And, I never talked about the texting thing, how, all the texts that you're receiving from your mom, it doesn't feel like she trusts you fully.
No.
But from your mom's perspective, that is a way that she wants to make sure you're safe and cared for, but it's not the message that's being received.
Right.
Would you say that that's like the main concern that between your relationship is the texting, or what else?
I mean, I think it like manifests in the texts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this week was better from last week as far as like texting goes.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it wasn't like perfect, but
Yeah.
not as like really unhinged and crazy as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. But like, I feel like she just thinks again like she has to control me. Like, I just feel like she's always watching me, and no one wants to be watched like that. And so, like when Dad was around, it like just didn't feel like he always had his eyes on me.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would come and join me and do the fun stuff,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to Mom like peeping in my door and being like, okay, what is Sam doing?
Mm-hmm.
And like Dad would be like, oh cool, Sam, what are you doing? Like, let's go do. Okay, cool, I'll join you.
Mm-hmm.
So like it just feel like there's like this always like suspiciousness like that, like I'm always doing something mischievous.
Mm-hmm. Do you imagine like if maybe your mom had more of like a relaxed, fun role in your life and maybe did some of those things that you and your dad did, that maybe the actions that feel judgmental or suspicious wouldn't feel so maybe triggering to you?
I don't know, maybe.
I feel like when my husband and I were together, like I would check in on you about your homework and he would check in and do fun things. And like now, he's not around to do the fun check-ins, so it makes sense that you're like only getting the homework check-in. I just feel like if I let go of that, you're not gonna do your homework, or like.
Well, this is such a hard time. Like I miss Dad.
You know what? I'm not your dad, but I can try. Like I guess doing some of the fun things that he did. Would that help?
No, it definitely wouldn't. I just think we need to find our own thing. Cause like you're never gonna. Like what Dad and I did is like between us.
Yeah, I can feel that both of your experiences of how hard the cheating and the separation is for both of you. I think the natural tendency would be to deal with that by yourselves, and I think that finding ways that we can take a courageous step to maybe not do what feels easiest would maybe start to rebuild this connection and trust between the two of you. I did want to go back though. I had a question for you, Sam. What in your mom would maybe communicate to you that she wasn't being judgmental or controlling?
She'd actually enjoy the things that I enjoy.
noticed you were wearing like track clothes. Are you coming from track?
Mhm.
Yeah. Is your mom involved in that at all, or what does that look like?
Honestly, I told her not to come to my track meets because I just, honestly, it's so much easier just to tell my friends. Like, my parents can't make it,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's easier to say that than people ask, oh, why is your dad not here, Sam? And so,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, it's kind of like bucket, like, it's just easier to do
Mhm.
it that way. And also, like, I like have enough support from my friends and feel supported by them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. If we imagine though bringing your mom into, sort of bringing her into your life more, so we're taking steps closer together and not farther apart. What's something you could imagine, maybe even just a small step for your mom to, just give it a try to see what it feels like for you, for her to be more involved?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Mom was right when last week when we talked or whatever, she mentioned that we enjoyed like going to ballet together and her doing my hair. And so obviously I don't want her doing my hair. But like something like that we don't have to talk, but like do something together. So Mom and I both like yoga, so we can go to yoga together.
Have you guys tried that together before? Yoga?
Well, I go with my friends, and she goes with her friends.
How does that sound to you?
I'm open to that.
Yeah, that seems like a super fair little homework assignment we could have, but yeah.
I just always go in the morning because that's what fits my schedule, and I know that she hates getting up in the morning. So
Yeah.
like
I do.
but then she's at school and then I'm working, so there's not a lot
skip
of
school.
Okay. That's not an option. But
Well, if it's homework and she says it is, I mean, I could just go.
Yeah, I mean, we can explore other options. There's not just yoga. There's not one set thing that will, bring you two closer together. You told your mom that you didn't want her to come to your track meet. How was that interaction?
she told me.
Yeah.
That was like maybe a month after things were really different in our house, and I did not. I don't know. I was kind of pushy about it, I think, but
Yeah, you were.
yeah, it turned into like a yelling match.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was something that her dad had been more involved in, and I was like trying to figure out how to, like, someone had to be there, but she said no one has to be there, she's just gonna do it on her own.
Maybe yoga on Saturdays or Sundays.
It's true, we could go over the weekend.
Yeah, I think that would be great. It does seem though that maybe this point of like track with you, I imagine you as Lynn, as her mom, that you want to be there to support her. How did it feel when you couldn't go to support her?
That was one of the things I cried about. She mentions I cry in my room in the evenings mostly, or when I think she's asleep. But yeah, it definitely came up day that it was, I got lunch with a friend and was like crying about it then too. But I didn't. Like it had been like a big fight and a big explosion, so I didn't push it the next time the track meet came up. I just kind of accepted that I'm not going to be in that part for life, but I also still want to know about it, and so that's where it's tricky.
And does it feel like something you don't want to bring up with her because of the fight, to talk about, ask about the track
She
meet?
shuts me down a lot when I ask about school and track, and I don't know. Yeah, we don't quite talk about it or about those things. The things that she's excited about. I just have to.
For reading, yeah, let's just pick up back where we were. Yeah, we were talking about how, sometimes the support feels like judgment, and I'm wondering if we could explore ways that maybe her support could be felt like support rather than judgment, and which makes sense why I would feel that way a lot of the times, in the ways that you're receiving that. It's not what's being communicated. So, yeah, how does that sit?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you got it right. Like, I want her to feel supported and cared for. But I'm always like invested doing it. That way I think I'm just like so worried about her sometimes that I let the worry like kind of creep in.
Yeah. And the worry, it comes from a really good place.
Yeah.
But it's feeling like, oh, my mom can't be fun, my mom can't enjoy the things that you want her to enjoy with you.
Yeah.
If you imagine that she just enjoyed all the things that you like to do, could you picture that? Could you picture maybe that rebuilding of your relationship?
I mean, hypothetically, yeah.
You both said that you really bonded and connected when you did ballet. Did you do ballet growing up, or?
It was something I always wanted to do. So I didn't get the chance when I was younger. I didn't have like parents who had time to take me and who were supportive of like extracurriculars. So that's I think why that's really important to me as a parent.
Yeah, so
I wanted to do ballet.
yeah,
I thought it would be fun for her.
yeah.
She's really good at it because she's got like the long legs and everything.
Yeah, Sam, you said earlier that sometimes, like, your dad would just join in with you on the things you were doing, sort of like a little less talking, and you felt a little more comfortable with that.
Yeah, for sure.
Lynn, how would that maybe feel if, I don't know, I mean, we could first imagine some things that, what are some things that your dad would join in on with you, maybe besides the drinking and stuff like that?
Well, he would go for runs with me. And we would, like I said before, like we would go and listen to like the Red Hot Chili Peppers together and have like the windows down stuff. Also, he would help me with like schoolwork because he's good at math. He's an engineer, so the like stuff comes naturally to him. I also feel like we both like playing video games, so like he would just sit there on his phone, and I would sit on my phone, and we both like play Clash of Clans.
And a lot of that would happen either when you're at home or, you know, from to and from home.
Yeah, or we watched sports together. We just like connected a lot over being active and stuff.
Yeah. I remember previous sessions you were saying how it's harder for you to be at home, and so you stay busy with friends. And
Yeah.
yeah. What a lot of those activities that you like to do with your dad, maybe the opportunity for you and your mom to start connecting on things a little more, you know, just naturally, like, well, for example, your mom's baking or something, and, you know, joining in. I don't know if you do that, but, you know, like things like that where there's maybe a more natural opportunity for the two of you to connect, sort of like you were talking about with your dad. I'm wondering if maybe looking towards this next week, if you'd be open at all to maybe devoting a little bit of time more at home, as hard as it probably would be and maybe against your nature to want to do, how that would feel for you.
I mean, yeah, we could try.
How does that feel for you, Lynn, if maybe Sam was home a little more often?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only times we even overlap are on the weekends and or in the mornings, but she's like, you know, on her way out the door. And sometimes I let yoga then.
Yeah.
No, like, yeah, it just feels like in this part of life, like we're just not very overlapping. But I do want that, and I want, yeah, I remember offering to bake, or we could bake together.
Yeah, and not even any commitment to any activities you do, just I think creating more time and space for the two of you to potentially find more connection, and maybe in more spaces that are less emotionally intense would feel more safe for the both of you.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to like take the things that were important and fun with Dad. Like you guys can still have those things, but I just feel like the things that were important and meaningful between us haven't happened in a long time.
Great. Well, I think those are some things we can think about going into this next week before next session. Thank you both for being very vulnerable and real about your relationship. So, thank you.